You're watching Durango News, celebrating Southwest Colorado every day.
Opponents of the proposed village at Wolf Creek head to Washington to protest a recent land swap decision by the Forest Service.
Community volunteers get up before dawn to count bird populations in the Oxbow Preserve. Find out what they learned.
And local kids learn to fly through the air on their bicycles. We head to the BMX tracks to find out why the sport is so popular. I'm Ashley Dixon.
And I'm Jordan Alexander. These stories and more coming up next on this edition of Durango TV News.
This program is brought to you by Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep at 20th and Main in Farmington. Visit today for your best deal.
You're watching Durango TV News. I'm Ashley Dixon.
And I'm Jordan Alexander. The battle against the village at Wolf Creek escalated into war in mid-June when environmental groups filed a lawsuit in federal court against the U.S. Forest Service and then traveled to Washington to meet with the Colorado congressional delegates and administration officials to raise awareness about the environmental threat. They hope the lawsuit and lobbying efforts will stop a development that eventually could house up to 10,000 people in pristine meadows adjacent to the Wolf Creek ski area. In May, Rio Grande Forest Supervisor Dan Dallas approved a land exchange that would give Texas billionaire Red McCombs access from US Highway 160 to his property on the top of Wolf Creek Pass. The modified parcel is several hundred acres in size. The approval and subsequent lawsuit are the latest developments in a 30-year saga that started when the Forest Service approved a 1986 land exchange between private property in Saguache County and the parcel next to the ski area. Jimbo Buick-Arud, public land specialist with the San Juan Citizens Alliance in Durango, said that even then the exchange was controversial. The newly created private holding at Wolf Creek was surrounded by public land.
An important piece of this, of course, is that the parcel does not adjoin Highway 160, and that has been a piece of contention, analysis, and so forth for decades, as we know.
Rio Grande Forest Supervisor Dan Dallas told Durango TV News last month that he approved the second land exchange adjacent to the highway because the exchange itself didn't harm the environment. Dallas also explained that his decision was limited to the impact of the land exchange itself. Only the Mineral County Commissioners have jurisdiction over the development, not the Forest Service. But the San Juan Citizens Alliance, Friends of Wolf Creek, and other environmental groups that filed the lawsuit say the Forest Service does have the opportunity to consider the development's impact in its land exchange ruling, and ignoring the development violated the National Environmental Protection Act. The land exchange analysis is too narrow in its scope. Opponents maintain that the impacts of potential development should have been the primary focus of the analysis. Buick-Arud said that the Washington representatives they met also wondered why the analysis of the land exchange was so limited.
I will say that I was just in Washington, D.C. the last few days talking to administration officials in our delegation, and that reality is not lost on other people. When they've looked at the documents, they've looked at the history and so forth, most of them, and they did ask a lot of questions, but most of them were wondering why the scope of that analysis was so narrow.
Buick-Arud wouldn't speculate on the outcome of the lawsuit or any potential remedies to protect the parcel on Wolf Creek Pass. But he did say that the San Juan Citizens Alliance and supporters will continue to fight the village at Wolf Creek. To follow developments on the village at Wolf Creek, visit the San Juan Citizens Alliance at sanjuancitizens.org. The Start of Music in the Mountains Classical Music Festival is just around the corner. Up next, Ashley Dixon visits with Angie Beach and Gregory Hustis to find out what this year's event will offer.
Welcome back to Durango TV News. I'm joined in the studio today with Angie and Greg from Music in the Mountains, and they've got a really big summer coming up. You guys are about to get really busy as the festival kicks off.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know we've got a little cheat sheet here because Music in the Mountains, for those of you who don't know, give a brief description of the organization.
Well, years ago I could have done this with no paper at all, but we've become so busy during the times. We are basically a classical music festival. We also have a conservatory for young students who come from all over the country, including Durango. And we are perhaps first and foremost a presenting organization, in that we have our own orchestra, festival orchestra made up of players from all over the country and soloists from all over the country. We have Guillermo Figueroa, our conductor, who is our main conductor. We have guest conductors. I mean, a true festival is actually something where nobody can go to everything.
Yeah, and that seems very much the case with this.
And people always complain to me, well, I don't know what we're going to do. We can't go to everything. They say it to me apologetically, and I say, we don't expect it.
Yeah.
This sort of festival is based on some of the festivals in Europe, where morning and noon and night things are going on, and you pick and you enjoy it, and a lot is crammed into a short amount of time, and that's what we're doing. And Angie coordinates all that and makes sure it all works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So lots of different acts, and at the heart, this is a classical festival, but you guys have definitely branched out and diversified a little bit. There's something for everyone in terms of the different kinds of musical ensembles you can see. Angie, can you kind of speak to that?
Sure. I think that the common denominator here is just quality and high caliber. This is our 29th season, and we are primarily a classical music festival, but we really want to reach a wider audience, and so we've started introducing things like, well, for instance, this year we have Sarah Lee Guthrie and Johnny Arian, and they're going to be in the Bayfield Performing Arts Center, which is cool on a couple of levels because, the Bayfield Performing Arts Center is brand new and it's a state-of-the-art facility, and Bayfield should be really proud to have something like that in such a small community as Bayfield. And they're like an acoustic duo. In fact, some kind of interesting facts. Sarah Lee is the granddaughter of Arlo Guthrie.
I was wondering if there was a tie there. That's awesome.
Yes, and Johnny, her husband, is actually, I think, the grandson of Steinbeck.
So they're musical legends in their own right.
Right, exactly. And so sort of along those lines, we're really excited to go to Bayfield, also Pagosa and Cortez. So while we're still primarily a Durango festival, we're branching out into more of a regional festival.
And I think that just makes it more accessible for people all over the Four Corners. I mean, you're in different areas, you've got so much going on. And I think that's great when people look at the schedule. Also a couple of free shows in there for families as well. Now, what's on tap for those shows?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I think that the coolest thing we're doing for families this year is the animated orchestra, and it's completely free. And it's what, some people remember as Family Festivo, which was at Rotary Park, right in the middle of a work week day in the heat of July last year. It was actually the record-breaking hottest day on record in Durango.
Ooh.
So we decided we're going to get rid of that weather variable, and we're going to move to the community concert hall, and we're going to still keep it free. We changed the program. It's going to be super cool, fun, featuring a little ferret that gets lost in an instrument repair shop. So, you don't want to miss the music, but on top of all that, come down and get a free hot dog and root beer float before the show.
And enjoy the air conditioning if it's a hot day like it was last year.
Exactly.
And now I know a lot of stuff is happening in Durango and also up at Purgatory at the festival tent.
Well, our classical series happens both there. Most of the classical stuff happens, the orchestra there at the Purgatory in the tent. One concert happens down at Fort Lewis. We also have 3 chamber music concerts in Durango at the First Baptist Church. We also have a classical concert at the Los Angeles Cello Quartet, which will be at Glacier Club. And also at Purgatory, which I won't say is exactly classical, but we have a Wild Wild West symphonic concert, which is sort of straddling the line, so to speak, there. So we're doing quite a few things. And we have a Pops concert, and that will also be up at Purgatory. So we're here, there, and everywhere.
I know, and I feel like you talk for a long time about how many acts you're going to have, but for people that want to know more information, where's a great place for them to go so they can get the full schedule, ticket costs, and all that?
Absolutely. So our website has everything. There's a full schedule, and it's at musicinthemountains.com. And of course, call us, 970-385-6820. We can walk you through it. We can answer all your questions, help you select seats, or come and see us. We're at 1063 Main Avenue, downtown.
Awesome. So really, the big question is, which shows are you going to go to? So thank you guys so much for joining us. And we'll be back with more Durango TV News.
This program is brought to you by Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep at 20th and Main in Farmington. Visit today for your best deal.
Evening's Porch Assisted Living in Bayfield, where independence and quality of life are nurtured and respected. We offer a home-like environment with private suites for individuals or couples, daily activities, transportation, and home-cooked meals. Each resident is treated with respect and dignity in an environment that promotes quality of life. Our qualified staff brings years of caregiving experience and medication management. You can feel confident that you or your loved one is well taken care of. Call us or stop by for a tour and free consultation.
Part of what makes Durango unique is its rich history. So no trip to Durango is complete without a visit to the Animas Museum. The charming museum features a restored 1905 schoolhouse as well as a Native American gallery. Want to learn more about Durango's Wild West heritage? Take a walk through the Law and Order exhibit and tour the Old Joy Cabin. Want more? Sign up for walking tours of historic downtown Durango. Experience over 140 years of Durango history at the Animas Museum, located in North Durango at 31st Street and West 2nd Avenue.
Watch me.
And me on Metv. I'm Jordan Alexander.
And I'm Ashley Dixon, bringing you upbeat, positive news stories from Southwest Colorado with Durango TV News.
Catch Durango TV News on Metv every week at 9 p.m. Thursdays and 8:30 a.m. Sundays over cable, satellite, DirecTV, or on the air.
So catch us both by tuning in to Durango TV News, bringing you upbeat stories every week on MeTV.
Experience Southwest Colorado's premier classical music festival at Music in the Mountains, July 12th through August 2nd. Enjoy world-class music in a variety of beautiful venues such as the Festival Tent at Purgatory, local parks, the Glacier Club, and the Community Concert Hall. See the festival orchestra with featured soloists, chamber ensembles for more intimate settings, free masterclasses, and pre-concert lectures. The 2015 season schedule and tickets are available online at musicinthemountains.com or at the festival office at 1063 Main Avenue in Durango, Colorado. This program is brought to you by Coldwell Banker, Heritage House Realtors, your source for real estate in the Four Corners area for over 35 years.
Thanks for watching Durango TV News. I'm Ashley Dixon. Nearly a dozen volunteers gathered before dawn one summer morning in June to assist a local biologist with a national bird survey and study. With bird books and binoculars in hand, the volunteers were counting birds on the City of Durango's Oxbow Park to help the City Parks and Recreation Department manage the wildlife preserve. Local biologist Lynn Wickersham with Animas Biological Studies led the group into the cottonwoods and willow forests adjacent to the Animas River at 5:30 in the morning. After setting up their workstations, they headed into the willows to set up their nets.
We capture birds using specialized nets that are called mist nets, and they are set up on some metal poles. And we kind of opportunistically selected sites that we thought would be good areas that birds might be flying into. So a lot of them are along the edges of willow patches or within some underneath a tree canopy. And we open the nets and we check them every 30 minutes. And birds will fly in and they usually get, you know, the net goes through the back of the head, maybe a little bit through the wings. And we extract them and we bring them back to our processing station where we put bands on them and take a whole bunch of measurements.
Their data will also be used as part of the National MAPS program. MAPS is an acronym for Monitoring Avian Productivity and Survivorship Program that was started in 1989. It was established by the Institute for Bird Populations to assess and monitor bird species throughout North America. More importantly, Brian McGee with Colorado Parks and Wildlife said the study will inform management decisions about the preserve. The City of Durango purchased the property with lottery funds to preserve the lands as open space.
We're getting local information on what's happening with the birds on this specific piece of property. And that's significant because we'll be able to use that information and the City Park and Rec Advisory Boards will be able to help develop their management plan of what they want to do with this property in the future, how they want to develop it, or what maybe they don't want to develop, and sort of the amount of use that we want on the property and how the birds might respond to that. It's trying to preserve the conservation values of this parcel.
Volunteers usually capture about 30 birds each field day. Last summer, the first year of the study, Wickersham captured and recorded data for more than 300 birds, representing more than 40 different species. The study is funded by the City of Durango and Parks and Wildlife. The public is invited to observe a capture day on Saturday, July 18th. The gate to the Oxbow Preserve will be open from 7:30 to 10 a.m. It's located off Animas Drew Drive. Parking is extremely limited, so you're encouraged to carpool, take the trolley, or ride your bike. For more information about the branding project, visit the Parks and Recreation page on the City of Durango's website at durangogov.com.
Their marketing materials boast that 1 out of every 2 real estate sales in La Plata County is brokered by the Wells Group. And over the years, the Wells Group has sold literally tens of thousands of homes and home sites. The Wells Group is celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2015, and Durango TV News recently visited with founding brokers John Wells and Jim Watkins about their years in Durango. Wells and Watkins met when Wells was a freshman at Fort Lewis College. Watkins' brother was Wells' roommate. John started work as a real estate professional with Rick Lane and Company and sold Watkins his first house. They later joined forces to form the Wells Group in 1985 with a team of 5 people. 30 years later, 48 sales people work out of the Wells Group offices.
I think that what we've been able to put together at the Wells Group is a real family feeling. So when we come to work every day, and it's virtually every day for the last 30 years, we get to come to work with a whole bunch of people that we like to be with. It's ever changing as far as I'm concerned. You know, when we started in 1985, the business was relatively simple, and it's not quite so simple now.
The Wells Group has played a primary sales role for a number of major developments in La Plata County. Hillcrest, Rivergate, the boulevards on 3rd Avenue, Skyridge, just to name a few. And they've represented many large ranches and rural properties in the area. But it's not the big luxury homes or multi-million-dollar retreats that get them excited. It's helping the first-time homebuyer purchase their new home.
First-time homebuyer really gives you some energy because you know that you've helped them really in a long-term commitment that's going to be to really a long-term financial benefit to own their home.
Over the years, the Wells Group has developed a reputation for knowing the market and ever-changing real estate trends in Southwest Colorado. The company sponsors a real estate forecast that hundreds of real estate and business professionals attend every year. With 30 years behind them, are Wells and Watkins looking to retire? Not on your life.
We enjoy what we do, so there's no reason to slow down or stop.
You can learn more about the Wells Group at wellsgroupdurango.com.
Is your inability to say no hindering your bottom line? Then you may want to attend the 6th Annual Colorado Small Business Development Center Women's Small Business Conference scheduled for Wednesday, July 29th at Fort Lewis College. Sylvia Thyssen, founder of She Takes the Lead and nationally renowned motivational speaker, will present the keynote address and will offer tips on communication strategies to improve your success in business. In addition, the conference will feature workshops and presentations on federal contracting, better communication strategies, and social media. Cost is $50 per person and includes breakfast, lunch, and a networking social at the end of the day. The Women's Resource Center also will offer scholarships for women who can't afford the tuition. Applications are available online at wrcdurango.org. For more information about the conference, visit sbdcfortlewis.edu. After the break, flying high on the BMX track.
This program is brought to you by Coldwell Banker, Heritage House Realtors, your source for real estate in the Four Corners area for over 35 years.
Animas Surgical Hospital, the best care in the Four Corners.
Our hospital ranks in the top 1% of hospitals nationwide.
More nurses per patient and our manageable size leads to better patient outcomes.
The ER is open 24/7 with short waits. I need that with 3 kids.
My patients appreciate everything in one place. ER, labs, imaging, surgeries, and pharmacy, and just minutes from downtown Durango.
Personal care, better results. Animas Surgical Hospital.
Go underground with the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour, a fun and exciting look at gold mining in Silverton. This is an authentic gold mine, and the tour includes a train ride and mining demonstrations. The Old 100 Mine Tour runs 7 days a week with hourly tours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pan for gold and silver as long as you like, and keep what you find. Take a scenic drive north to historic Silverton and the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour.
Experience Southwest Colorado's premier classical music festival at Music in the Mountains, July 12th through August 2nd. Enjoy world-class music in a variety of beautiful venues such as the Festival Tent at Purgatory, local parks, the Glacier Club, and the Community Concert Hall. See the festival orchestra with featured soloists, chamber ensembles for more intimate settings, free masterclasses, and pre-concert lectures. The 2015 season schedule and tickets are available online.
It's our Drive and Discover event at Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep in Farmington. Purchase a tough and economical 2015 Ram 1500, now just $265 per month. Save over $12,000 on a 2015 Ram 3500 Longhorn and make no payments for 90 days. Drive a stylish 2015 Chrysler 200, just $198 per month. Want a Jeep? Here's a 2015 Jeep Patriot Sport 4x4, only $199 per month.
Visit Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep in Farmington or click AdvantageDodge.com.
This program is brought to you by the Durango Coffee Company, a special place for cooks, coffee, and friends. Now it's time to find the fun in Southwest Colorado.
You're watching
This
Durango
program
TV
is
News.
brought to you
I'm
by
Ashley
the
Dixon.
Durango Coffee
And I'm Jordan
Company,
Alexander.
a
Thanks for
special
joining
place
us.
for cooks, coffee,
It's like a
and
cross
friends.
between roller derby and motorcycle racing, and kids all over the world spend hours challenging gravity and other competitors in a sport called BMX racing. Now the city of Durango offers summer camps in the sport. Coach Jordan Roop tells us what it's all about.
BMX stands for bicycle motocross, so it primarily takes place on smaller bikes that are fully rigid with 20-inch wheels. It's racing, so it's just under a minute track. It's a full-on sprint over jumps and through berms, and the first guy to the line wins. And there's lots of excitement, passing and crashing, jumping, catching air, riding wheelies. Now this year, Durango BMX is now being run by the City of Durango and Durango Parks and Rec. So this is our summer camp program. This is our first June session. We've got 15 kids ranging from ages 5 to 11, and we're super excited to be here even though it's hot. So we come out here and just have fun and work on basic bike handling skills that a lot of these kids will have for the rest of their life. BMX has 8 start lanes in the gate here, which we're about to do some starts here in a minute. So you can have up to 8 riders on a track at once. If a class has more people in it than that, your races will break down into quarterfinals and semifinals, things like that. Yeah, like to go fast, take chances, catch air. It's an addiction, I guess.
Durango BMX offers beginner clinics every Friday afternoon before their weekly open races on Friday nights. And for kids looking to learn more about BMX racing, the next Durango Parks and Recreation Summer Camp sessions begins Tuesday, July 7th. Visit durangobmx.com for more information.
She started playing the ukulele a few years ago for personal therapy, and she loved playing so much that she's organized the inaugural Rocky Mountain Ukulele Festival on July 10th and 11th in Durango. Local Durango businesswoman and ukulele aficionado Denise Leslie has invited nationally renowned ukulele musicians Heidi Swedberg and her husband Daniel Ward, along with John Bartlett, to perform and teach music classes to kick off what she hopes will become an annual event. The Rocky Mountain Uke Fest includes workshops like Learn to Play the Ukulele in a Day to advanced instructions like Flamenco Ukulele. It wraps up with a concert by the Smoking Jackets with Swedberg, Ward, and Bartlett. All events are at the Strader Hotel. Although the ukulele is associated with Hawaiian luau music, its origins are quite surprising.
Ukulele is a little 4-string instrument, and it's really out of Portugal. Of course, everyone thinks of it as a Hawaiian instrument, but it actually came out of the Portuguese area. So it came over to the Hawaiian Islands back whenever there were folks traveling there to work the sugarcane fields. And the Hawaiian culture adopted this awesome little instrument, and the king was just overwhelmed with it at the time, and so it became the instrument of the Hawaiian Islands. And then it came over to the United States through San Francisco back in the early 1900s. And
you may know Swedberg for her role as Susan on Seinfeld. She was the character who died after licking an envelope flap. She also appeared in Kindergarten Cop and Galaxy Quest, but her first love is playing and teaching ukulele. Her husband Daniel Ward graduated from the University of New Mexico with a degree in classical guitar performance and has performed in classical and ukulele concert festivals throughout the country. John Bartlett is a professional drummer and jazz artist who also plays the ukulele as well. He plays with Swedberg's Smoking Jackets Band. To register or to learn more about the Uke Fest schedule, visit RockyMountainUkeFest.com.
A stunning exhibit of fine art photography from 9 local artists is now open at the Durango Arts Center through August the 1st. Called Exhibit 970 Reprise, the show has been curated by Durango landscape photographer Joaquin Salazar. Salazar invited the photographers to submit photos not knowing what they planned to give him. He was then challenged to pull them together in a cohesive display to reflect the history and breadth of the medium.
We really don't know what's coming in the building until we take it in on the day of intake. It's our improv. This is an exhibition that is very out of the box. And so we let the artists speak for themselves.
The exhibit includes stunning life-size black and white photos by local physician Ron Ritz, who captured the people of India on his travels there. Jonas Grushkin submitted candid portraits from his days as rock and roll photographer, and portrait includes the late Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, and landscapes, collages, and a Kodachromatic collection of scenes from a Mardi Gras celebration in Galveston round out the exhibit. Gallery hours from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information about the photographers on exhibit through July, visit the Durango Arts Center website at durangoarts.com. That wraps up this edition of Durango TV News. Thanks for joining us. Tune in next week when we travel the new tracks across borders byway in Colorado and New Mexico. I'm Jordan Alexander.
And I'm Ashley Dixon. For more about what's happening in Durango, go to what'shappeningdurango.com. Post your free event today and join the one-stop, easy-to-use local community events calendar for Durango. I'm Ashley Dixon. Be sure to log on to durangotv.com for more local programming. Thanks for watching Durango TV, where we celebrate Southwest Colorado every day.
This program is brought to you by the Durango Coffee Company, a special place for cooks, coffee, and friends.
Watch me.
And me on MeTV. I'm Jordan Alexander.
And I'm Ashley Dixon, bringing you upbeat, positive news stories from Southwest Colorado with Durango TV News.
Catch Durango TV News on MeTV every week at 9 p.m. Thursdays and 8:30 a.m. Sundays over cable, satellite, DirecTV, or on the air.
So catch us both by tuning in to Durango TV News, bringing you upbeat stories every week on MeTV.
Do you remember our trip to Durango?
Of course, it was amazing. All the pampering, shopping, playing, having fun, laughing.
What about that dinner?
And the Rochester.
Oh, the Rochester was fabulous. The breakfast was so good. And I have to say, I don't think I've ever had champagne waiting for me in my bedroom before.
Do you want to do it again?
Let's do it again.
I'll give Susan a call.
Great. Cheers to the Rochester.
To the Rochester.
Meet Dan and his dog Bongo. They started their own dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more. So Dan worked with Fast Signs. They created a plan to attract more customers, get more business, wag more tails. Still, Dan wanted more, and Fast Signs provided more. Fast Signs help with digital displays, mobile marketing, merchandising, fleet graphics, and more. Now Dan has more sales, more locations, more of the good life. And more is exactly what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs, more than 530 locations worldwide.